I've never seen a giant with 3 heads before. I've seen him with 2, but never 3. This is a story about giants. It's a story about one giant in particular, Grant, the giant of giants. He is enormous, head and shoulders above most giants. Here at the giant school, all the giants are learning how to scare villages and kingdoms, so the giants can get whatever they want. This is how the giants have lived for years. Now there is a system that they use to scare villages and kingdoms. It always works. But for Grant, there is a bit of a problem. You see, Grant has great big shoulders. Grant has great big fists. Grant, the giant of giant, is enormous. But he's only got little feet. Dainty little feet. He's fast. He can run the fastest out of all the giants. In fact, he has. They race at school. He beats them all so easily. See, giants are slow. Their big feet get in the way. Grant, the giant of giant, though, his feet are so small. He can run so fast. The fastest and tallest giant that's ever lived, Grant is. This doesn't impress the other giants, though. Other giants at the school say, "Oh, look at Grant's little feet." Yes, look at them. They're so tiny. He's not going to be able to scare anyone. No, you're not going to scare anybody, Grant, are you? I don't know why you bother doing the training. You can't even stamp your feet. Grant, head and shoulders above them, looking down on them. Oh, be quiet. I can do whatever I like. I am the giant of giants. You could do whatever you like, can you? What about going to the village before you finished your training and get something from them and bring it back so we can see that you can scare villagers, even with little feet like those. Tiny little feet. Oh, I'll surely do it, said Grant, the giant of giants. In fact, I will go tonight. I'll go down the mountain. I'll go to the village and I'll scare them all. And then I'll bring back loads of little people stuff and show you to prove it. So, a bit later on that day, all the giants are going through the scaring. The teacher giant is enormous. He's got a great big beard, great big eyebrows, real strong jawline. This is a typical giant. And his scaring tactics that he teaches is first you growl, "Arr!" and you shake your fists, "Arr!" and then you stomp your feet. You see, stomping of the feet is very important. Some little people become brave when they see a giant. They think this is the time to impress all the women in the village, especially the ones that are not married yet. So they could bring out their sword and face the giant. But there is something that scares even the brave, and that's the stomping of the feet. You see, when a giant stomps, the vibration goes straight through the ground into the bravery, and the bravery disappears. The once brave knight or villager, warrior or foe lose their bravery. And then they just give in whatever the giant wants. But Grant, the giant of giant, his feet are so small. Tiny little feet. What kind of noise are they going to make when he stamps them? None, unfortunately. Later that evening, when all the giants are snoring and asleep, Grant decides to leave the school. He sneaks out one of the windows. His feet are so small and dainty, he doesn't make a sound. None of the giants wake up. I'm out, Grant thinks. All I've got to do is find a village and scare them. Get all the little people's stuff, take it back to my friends, there you go, and everyone will be quiet about my little tiny feet. So Grant starts running down the mountain and finds a village. Grant peers above the treetops at the village. He decides this'll do. There's quite a few houses. There's going to be a lot of people to scare. I'll get enough stuff. Grant, the giant of giants, goes to the village square and starts growling at the top of his lungs and shaking his fists, waking up all the villagers. They're all jumping out of bed, coming outside to see what it is. One man, a brave man, the bravest man of this village, he gets out of his bed and straight away puts on his armour. Yes, this man is a trained knight. He is a brave knight as well. He once went after a dragon. He never found it, but he went after it, and he's not afraid of giants. So the knight walks out of his house and runs to the village square and removes his sword. The sword is covered with beautiful jewels. This is not an ordinary sword. This is a giant-killing sword. The giant sees it. He's been warned about these at school. But he is a giant. He shouldn't be afraid of a giant-killing sword, and he's not. So, just like in the giant school they teach you to do, Grant stomps his feet as loud as he can, but he doesn't make a sound. The bravery of the great knight that awaits with his giant-killing sword is not sapped out of him. The bravery is still there. His giant feet are so small, they're not creating the giant spell, removing their bravery. Oh, Grant realizes this isn't going to work. But the knight is coming forward with his giant-killing sword. He's not afraid. He's coming for the giant of giants. He's going to prove to everybody he's the bravest knight that's ever lived as he swipes down at the giant of giants. But Grant realizes what's going to happen, so he runs away. Whew! Gone like a shot he was. All the villagers cheer the knight. Oh, you've saved us. 2 beautiful girls jump on the knight and kiss him. Thank you, my hero. Grant is hiding in the forest. Oh, they was right about me. I can't scare anybody. My feet make no sound. Fast as they are, they don't have any powers. Oh, what am I going to do now? I can't go back empty-handed. They'll all laugh at me. I need to think of something. One thing Grant is good at, though, is always aced woodwork. Giants are naturally good builders. Grant is one of the best. He always comes up with imaginary ideas. And he has one. I know. I'll make myself some giant wooden feet. Yes! Giant wooden feet. And then when I stomp them, it'll make a great racket. And that'll scare all the villagers in the kingdom. I'm not going back to that village, though. I don't fancy meeting that knight again. Not with his giant-killing sword. I'll go to another one, though. Yes! So, Grant starts building away. And he builds himself some giant feet. So he takes them to the next village. Grant goes through the forest, down a waterfall, and there is a beautiful kingdom for the taking, Grant thinks. Wow, this one is incredible. I bet I can take back something amazing to my friends. Right, I'll put the feet on, and then I'll go through the scaring. And then I'll get everything that I need. Right, so Grant puts the feet on, starts stomping his way to the Kingdom Square. He gets to the Kingdom Square. He's already been spotted by somebody. And they've made some sort of an alarm using fire. That's going to the castle. Great, Grant thinks. That means someone is going to come out and give me loads of gold and things. This is perfect. I'll start the scare now. People have already started coming out and they're gathered all around, looking up. Wow, one villager says. He's the biggest giant I've ever seen. Yes, the biggest. Wow, what a... What? Look at his feet. They look a bit strange, don't they? Oh yeah, what's going on with his feet? All the villagers are really confused. The giant's feet look like they're made out of trees. And they are. That's what Grant has created. Tree feet. And he's getting ready to use them too. So, Grant has got an audience. He shakes his fists, growls at the top of his voice. All the villagers in the kingdom are scared. And then it awakens the knights of the village. The knights come out. Not one knight, but 10 knights. And they all come out in a line. They all line up, removing their swords. Ah, Grant thinks, I'll show these guys. And Grant lifts his leg up really high and stomps down, stomps down, stomps down. Boom, boom, boom. The knights are all afraid. They all put their swords away and put their hands up. Oh, we don't want any trouble, the knights say. Good, Grant says. Now, go get the gold and bring it back to me. We can't, Knight says. We can't give you anything. What are you talking about? The giant says. I want all the gold so I can take back to my friends. We can't. We already have a giant. What? Grant says. Yes, we are under protection from the princess. The giant princess in the castle behind us. The giant princess. Then, suddenly, dung, 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 the giant princess opens the door and walks out. Oh, Grant is mesmerized. The giant princess is beautiful. Grant instantly falls in love with her. Oh. The princess walks out. Golden hair waving around. Beautiful she is, all dressed in blue. And who are you? The giant princess says. I am Grant, the giant of giants. Oh, are you, Grant? Well, unfortunately this kingdom is under my protection. So, I'm afraid you'll have to leave. With nothing. I can't leave with nothing. I want to prove to my friends that I can scare villages and kingdoms and things. I tell you what, young giant. If you can get the missing piece from my earring, then I'll give you whatever you want. Oh, okay. What's missing from your earring? A unicorn horn. You see, I have one in this earring, but not this earring. I need them to match. But they're very hard to catch. You have to be fast, you know. And Grant kicks off his wooden feet. Says, don't worry, I am the fastest giant that ever lived. Oh, well, you need to go to the White Forest, get me a unicorn horn, and come back soon. Grant says it won't be a problem. The White Forest is littered with unicorns. But finding them is very difficult. They're so good at hiding, and they're very fast. There's one. Vroom. Grant runs after him. The unicorn is dodging from left to right, and then it runs up a tree, jumps over the giant, and goes the other way. But the giant is so fast, he manages to keep up, and whoop, grabs the unicorn. Huh, what are you doing? Put me down. Grant looks at the unicorn. I knew I could catch one. Get off me, get off me. I can't, I need one of your horns. Grant said. I only have one horn, and you can't take it. It'll curse you, you know. Curse me? Grant says. What kind of curse? It'll give you big feet. The curse of big feet. Nobody likes the curse of big feet. The curse of big feet? I like the sound of that. You see, I've got tiny little feet. I don't like having tiny little feet. I want big feet. Please, spare me and grab another one. Well, I just want the horn. You'll be fine. You're cursed. Ugh. He puts the unicorn down, and the unicorn looks like he's a bit drunk, stumbles away. Grant is back at the Kingdom Square, holding the unicorn horn. The princess rushes out. Vroom, vroom. Ah, you've got the unicorn horn. Yes, Grant says, I have. He remembers how beautiful she is. Wow. He hands her the unicorn horn. She takes it off him, puts it in her earring, and ching! Now she has a sparkle on both ears. But a necklace doesn't have one. Oh, but I need another one. If you could just get me this one as well, another unicorn horn, and then I will give you anything you need. How annoying, he's already got one unicorn horn. He doesn't want to have to go all the way back and get another one. Oh, but please, can I just have a few trinkets or something that I can take back to the giant village to show? No, I need the necklace to match my ears. Please. Also, I do need a prince to run this kingdom with me. Ah, Grant thinks. This makes things more interesting. Okay, I'll go get another one, Grant says, and he goes back to the White Forest. He sees a unicorn. He chases it and then falls over. Ugh. This has never happened before. He usually has great stability. And he looks down. He has one really big foot. Ah! I've got a giant foot. No, only one. And the unicorn comes around the corner behind the tree and nice foot. And then rides away. Oh no, the giant thinks. What am I going to do? I no longer have my speed. I'll never catch these unicorns. And then another unicorn goes near him. Here's my chance. The unicorn races off. The giant jumps to his feet, tries to catch him, but fails again. He can't run anymore. He's lost his speed, and he only has one giant foot. Oh no. Oh, I miss my little feet. What can he do? If he goes back home to the school, they'll all laugh at him. One big foot, one little foot. Look at Grant, the giant with one small foot. That's worse than two small feet. Can't go to the village because of the knight with the giant-killing sword. Can't go back to the kingdom. The giant princess still wants her necklace. What can he do? The only thing he can do. He needs to try and catch another unicorn. At least if he breaks a unicorn horn off, he'll have the other giant foot, and then he can go marry the princess. So no one's ever seen Grant ever since. The story says, so years have gone by, and Grant is still in the White Forest trying to catch a unicorn. One big foot and one little foot. He's too slow and too clumsy. He can't catch them. And he never will. The end.